Hello, everyone, and welcome to the masterclass on how to get promoted and land your dream leadership role in as little as 6 months, even if you feel stuck, overlooked, or you're battling imposter syndrome. It's great to have you here today, and thank you for taking time out of your day to learn about these strategies. Before we dive in, I'd love to ask you to type in the chat where you're dialing in from today and how you might be feeling enthusiastic, energized, excited, whatever that might be. Type it into the chat just to get our energy going as we dive into this. Thank you. Great. So, who this is for? This is for any woman manager stuck in middle management despite excellent performance and trying to land a leadership role she has earned. If you've ever wanted a clear path to career advancement and financial rewards without waiting for years for a promotion, then pay close attention because this has the power to transform your work life. What we'll cover today: a simple 4-step plan to land your dream leadership role in 6 months or less so you can have the recognition and the income you deserve, even if you've been overlooked for years. The real reason why you're being overlooked for advancement and underpaid, and what you can do today to get promoted, paid, and step into the career of your dreams. Why waiting patiently and working harder is the absolute worst way to advance your career, and a radical new approach to self advocacy that works 10 times better, and a way to finally step into your power as an influential leader at work so you can have all of the respect, income, and fulfillment that goes along with that. So let's dive in. What you will get out of today is a start to finish roadmap so you can get promoted, earn leadership roles, and feel valued, recognized, and rewarded at work. But first, a little bit about me. I always think it's helpful to know who's on the other side of the screen. My name is Maharuk Dalal. I have had 25 years of leadership experience in 4 different industries and across 4 countries. And I am here today speaking to you about this because this is very meaningful to me. I have been in your shoes. I have also felt stuck and been passed over for promotion. But I learned the strategies and now I want to share them with you. I started out my career right after university on Wall Street in New York City, where I spent 4 years. I then went to Harvard Business School and got my MBA there. After graduating from Harvard, I joined the hospitality industry, and that was my first career pivot, where I spent the next decade working at Starwood Hotels, which is now Marriott. I was a senior manager, a director, and a senior director, and I also had 8 different roles at Starwood across different parts of the organization, from brand management. I led the global food and beverage business for Starwood. I also worked in loyalty strategy with Starwood Preferred Guest, and I was the chief of staff to our president. I also worked in both the United States and at their Asia Pacific head office in Singapore. I then started my own consulting business and then pivoted into coaching to combine all of my years of experience across different industries and my professional training as a coach to help other ambitious women land the career that they want and deserve. Let me ask you now, does this sound like you? Do you feel stuck in a role you've outgrown? Are you still waiting to get recognized and promoted without asking for it? Do you expect your work to speak for itself? Are you sick of earning less than your less accomplished peers? And most of all, are you afraid you'll stay stuck in middle management forever unless something drastic changes? Well, if that sounds like you, first, you're in the right place. But secondly, none of this is your fault. It's just that you didn't have a system up till now. But once you have this 4-step system I'm going to share with you, you will feel confident asking for and stepping into the leadership roles you've earned. You'll negotiate substantial salary increases no matter your starting point. Imposter syndrome and self doubt will fade away. You'll feel fulfilled and excited to drive change as a thought leader. And you'll step confidently into well paid leadership roles instead of watching others get promoted ahead of you. Before we dive into this 4-step system, let me highlight some of the mistakes that you might be making, and I know because I've made them too. Okay, so let's look at them quickly. The first mistake is waiting to be noticed. Waiting passively for someone to notice your excellent work and reward you with a promotion and a raise. This approach is outdated and will stop your career dead in its tracks. You'll watch others catapult ahead of you simply by asking for opportunities. You'll feel increasingly frustrated as you stay stuck for years in roles you've outgrown. There's a better way to get promoted without waiting silently for years. Here's the bottom line: you need to directly ask for promotions and raise your profile instead of waiting silently. I'll show you how in a minute. Mistake number two: downplaying your skills. You might think modesty is best, but this backfires, and here's why. Underselling yourself costs you promotions and income. Staying silent in meetings suppresses your best ideas and robs you of recognition. You reinforce others' doubts instead of showing your true talents. Years of minimizing breeds imposter syndrome and kill your advancement. Instead, you need to communicate your value boldly and back it up with results. I'll explain how to do this in a bit. Mistake number three: networking only when you need something. The third mistake is seeing networking as a chore and only reaching out to your network when you need something. This is a mistake because you miss getting early intel about opportunities. Your network feels used instead of invested in your success. You lack the sponsors to advocate for your advancement. What you need instead is a steady practice expanding your circle of influence. So, these ineffective approaches have stalled your career growth for too long. Let's talk about the proven advancement system. But before I do that, type in the chat which of these three mistakes resonated with you the most. And it could be all three. I know that I have made one or more of these mistakes at some point in my career. And by the way, asking you to write this down isn't just, a fun thing to do. It's also rooted in science. When you actively engage in learning, you're committing that to memory even more. So you're getting more out of this by taking a moment to reflect and to record which of these mistakes you might be making or may have made in the past. So now let's talk about what I call the career breakthrough system. It has four parts. Number one, craft your leadership vision. Number two, build your personal brand pillar. Number three, expand your circle of influence. And number four, communicate your value boldly. Let me walk through each one of these now. Step one, craft your leadership vision. The first step is to craft a vivid vision of the leadership role and title you want, along with timing and income goals. This taps into the power of your subconscious to chart a path to your dream role. It's like your internal GPS. Having a bold vision is far smarter than waiting passively to be noticed because it puts you in the driver's seat. Here's how to do it. First, get ultra clear on the leadership title you want, along with the timing to achieve it. Then, define your ideal responsibilities, like leading a division or department. And then, visualize yourself already in this role, successfully leading key initiatives. This allows you to energize your subconscious to guide you to this outcome without waiting years crossing your fingers. When you do this right, you'll feel compelled and excited to make this vision real. Your subconscious will spotlight opportunities that were invisible before. Your work will align with this North Star, accelerating your growth. Now let's talk about step two. Build your personal brand pillar. This is a clear, powerful statement that communicates your vision, skills, and value. It's like your leadership elevator pitch. This avoids minimizing yourself or being invisible at work. Instead, you'll be recognized for the leader you already are. Here's why this is essential. Research shows people make snap judgments in seconds based on our personal brand. You need to control the narrative and paint the picture of a confident, visionary leader. This allows you to get fast track for opportunities and advancement. Step 3. Expand your circle of influence. The third step is to expand your circle of influence. This is your personal board of directors, a network of mentors, sponsors, allies, and cheerleaders. This group will provide inside intel and opportunities, make introductions, and advocate for your advancement. So instead of waiting patiently, we now talk about step number 3, which is building your circle of influence. Here's how it works. Identify mentors, sponsors, and allies at work who support you. Proactively seek feedback and advice from these advocates. Engage your network for introductions to new opportunities. When you have the circle of influence, everything changes. You'll get insider access to career launching opportunities. Influencers advocate for your promotion behind closed doors, and you will have a team guiding you and sharing intel. Now, step number 4, communicate your value and ask boldly. Once you've expanded your network, the next step is to communicate your value boldly while asking directly for what you want. This is powerful because it shows courage and confidence in your abilities. It allows you to advocate for your own career advancement. You get to skip waiting silently and go straight to opportunity. So, here's how you do this. Directly state how your unique skills and experience add value. Ask decision makers for the opportunities and resources you've earned. Back it up, delivering strong results in your current role. When you follow this system, you feel energized and focused on your leadership vision. You exude the confidence of a leader when you speak. Imposter syndrome fades as you own your capabilities. Your circle of influence advocates you into new roles. You take bold, strategic action to accelerate your career. Now, let me ask you, what was your biggest takeaway from the 4 points I shared as part of this 4-step career breakthrough system? Type in the chat, please. Yes, a lot of people talk about the circle of influence as being an aha moment because even though as women we are outstanding at building deep, meaningful connections, we don't always take the time to leverage those relationships because of our thinking around networking as being something as asking for help, as viewed it, as we view it as a chore. And so the circle of influence and allocating roles to different people is a game changer in terms of career acceleration. Thank you for sharing that. Once you follow the system, you can start feeling fulfilled from today. No more frustration, regret, and self doubt. So now you have a choice. If you're okay with me telling you a little bit about how we can help through the Career Accelerator for Women program, type yes in the chat. Great, I see a lot of yeses coming through, so I'm going to go ahead and tell you about how we can help you to accelerate in your career. I don't have time today to go into all of the nuts and bolts, but I'm going to share with you the 5 big outcomes that you can expect from our work together. Okay, so if you have a piece of paper handy, do write this down because you want to remember it and reference it in the future. The first thing we're going to do together is we're going to create a vision clarity path. We're going to start with the vision for your life 10, 20, 30, 40 years from now. You pick the time. And we are going to get clear on what that looks like. Where are you? Who is around you? What are you doing? How are you feeling? When you have clarity on that simple vision for your future life, we then bring it back to a 12-month goal. What role do you want to have in 12 months' time? Where are you working? How much income are you earning? Who are you working with? What kind of work are you doing? So, getting crystal clear on that 12-month goal. And then we come back to the current moment and we take a business transformation approach and think about the things we can stop, start, and continue doing from today to get to our 12-month goal, which is in keeping with that vision for our life. So, you see how we draw a direct line from the present moment to that future vision? And it's grounded in a process of stopping, starting, and continuing to do things that are going to get us to both the 12-month goal and to that future self. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to go on a confidence cultivation journey. This has three parts. This is about building a bulletproof mindset. How do you do that? Much like cultivating a beautiful garden, where you want to continue to cultivate empowering beliefs while uprooting disempowering beliefs. Your empowering beliefs can be anything you want. I can do this. I've got this. Let them. Disempowering beliefs are things that are holding you back. I'm not sure I'm ready for this. I don't think I can do this. By identifying where those beliefs came from, did you inherit them or did you choose them? And being able to work on these empowering beliefs while uprooting these disempowering beliefs lays the foundation for a bulletproof mindset. So that's one. The second thing we do together is we decode fear as good fear and bad fear. Good fear is the fear that allows us to step out of our comfort zone into our challenge zone. It's a sign that we're doing something big that's important to us. And it's a sign that we want to welcome into our life once we learn to identify it as such. Bad fear is the rumination, the what ifs, the should ifs, the could ifs that are keeping us stuck. They're not helping get us out of our comfort zone into our challenge zone. They're just keeping us stuck. And that's just the brain doing its job from the cave person days when we are wired for the fight and flight and freeze response by the amygdala to keep us safe, right? The brain's only job is to ensure survival. But we don't live in the cave person days anymore where we are threatened by predators. And so to let go of that fight or flight response and to decode fear is a game changer in your ability to step out of your comfort zone. And the third thing that we do within the confidence cultivation journey is we completely reframe imposter syndrome because it's not an ailment or a disease that's afflicting you. It's just a set of thoughts. And when we look at imposter thoughts as a gap between where you are today and where you want to be in the future, we just learn to bridge that gap by adding the word yet. I can't do this yet. I don't know how to do this yet. I'm not ready for this yet. So instead of it being viewed as an affliction, we just view it as a training plan, as a way to go from here to there, right? This is critical because confidence grows as your challenge grows. If you want to stay at the same level, you don't need more confidence. Your confidence can be static. But if you want to continue to step up in your career and grow, you need your confidence to grow with you. And that's why we go through the process of cultivating this confidence. The third thing we do together is accelerate your authority. We work with you to handcraft your personal brand statement, which establishes you as an authority in your field. It combines your goals, your values, your skills, your strengths, the unique impact that you have had through the course of your career. And when you look at that and you exude that authority, others feel your authority. This is about establishing that personal brand pillar so that you can come across as credible and respected as an authority in your field within and outside your company. The fourth thing we do is the circle of influence. This is what I touched upon earlier in the four-step career breakthrough system. We help you identify all of the different people you need in your circle of influence, your mentors, your sponsors, your allies, your cheerleaders, your challengers. And it's not enough to just know that you need to have these roles, but it's Putting people in these boxes, having a list of mentors from your prior roles, from your prior career or your current career that you can tap into for advice on how to navigate the ups and downs. Sponsors are people who will pound their fist on the table and say, I know what she's like at her best. You need to hire her for this job. Or they open doors to you for you as you look at new opportunities. Cheerleaders are the people who pick you up when you fall down, just like some of you who are parents might be those cheerleaders for your kids when your kid's learning to ride a bike and they fall down. You say, hey, dust yourself up. You can do this. Who are those cheerleaders in your own life? The other piece to circle of influence is reframing your relationship with networking. And I mentioned this a little bit before. While women are exceptional at developing deep and meaningful relationships, we don't often leverage those. We're not as good at asking for help as a lot of men are because we view networking as an awkward relationship about, viewing it as asking for help rather than a give and take, a win-win. And so I help you to reframe networking so that you continue to build your network as you go and you don't wait for a moment in time when you're looking for your next opportunity or when you feel like you need to do it. The fifth and most important thing, where all of this comes together, is through world-class customized support. I don't just leave you on your own to figure this out because if it was as easy as that, we'd all be thriving in our career and you wouldn't be here today. It's not as easy as reading a book or watching a podcast or watching a TED Talk or listening to a podcast because today knowledge is democratized. Knowledge is no longer power. Power lies in the application and the execution of that knowledge. And that's what I help you do. I help you not only learn and understand these insights and strategies, but apply them to your life and to your career. And I've got your back. I'm here to support you, champion you, and challenge you every step of the way. So let's summarize these 5 things before we dive into any questions that you might have. So the first thing we do together is we create a vision clarity path where you have the vision for your life, your 12-month goal, and what you're going to start, continue doing today to get to the 12-month goal and to your future vision. The next thing we do together is we go on a confidence cultivation journey because your confidence needs to grow as your challenge rises. And we do that in 3 ways. Develop a bulletproof mindset, decode fear into good fear and bad fear, and reframe imposter syndrome as just thoughts. Then we accelerate your authority with your personal brand statement. Then we build your circle of influence by having the right people in the right roles and reframing your relationship with networking. And finally, all of this comes together with world-class customized support. So, this is not for everyone. You must be a woman manager or director who feels stuck and overlooked, who's currently employed and been in your current role or a very similar role for at least 2 years. You must be serious about advancing your career into leadership and be willing to invest in yourself to make that happen. I've helped dozens and dozens of women do this before, but it takes commitment on your part too. So if you meet these criteria, here is my offer to you for taking the time to be here for this masterclass today, because I know that means you're serious about growing your career, or if you're listening to the recording. I have the following offer for you. A one-to-one complimentary career strategy session where we get together for 45 minutes, we put our heads together, I listen to the issues and challenges you are currently facing in your career, and I offer you some insights and strategies on how to tackle it. And if you then want my help to implement those strategies, I will give you 15% off the program if you book the call in the next 48 hours. And I will include a link to the call in a follow-up email so that you have this recording as well. But that is my offer to you if you would like to apply some of these strategies in your life to advance in your career. Thank you for being here today, and let's talk soon. Bye.